Hello, welcome to the All for the Culture podcast and YouTube show. This is Kanal, and we got a special guest. We got the first female artist on the show. She is a queen in Houston. We are live from her store in the heart of Houston, Texas, 5th Ward. And we got Queen Just Brittany in the house today. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm glad to be a part of the show.
Thank you for coming on. So we want to talk to you. We want to get to know you as well as possible. So let's start with, I want to talk to you about growing up and your early childhood and your parents. And I heard you were like a schoolgirl, like a really nerdy schoolgirl. You graduated at 16, I heard.
Yeah, I graduated valedictorian at 16. I went to Worthing, and then I transferred to Jesse Jackson Academy, which is called Palm Center. And I was just real focused. I was a teacher's pet, a nerd. I always was on the dean's list. I always had straight A's. I was just really focused. And when I graduated from 16, I just got into the lifestyle that I knew nothing about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, and so you said at 16 your sister started living with you.
Yeah, at 16, my sister started living with me. I got my own apartment because I was very independent. Even when I was staying with my mom, I got me a job at like 15. I was a hustler at heart.
Okay.
You know, before I even got in the streets, I was a hustler at heart. Whatever I needed to do to hustle to make sure that my family and I ate, then that's what I did. So I got my own apartment. I made sure my little sister stayed with me, and she graduated valedictorian as well.
Wow, really? Dang. Your parents must be proud. I know I didn't graduate near valedictorian. Your parents must be really proud. I heard you say on an interview you never put your parents. You can't think of anything you put your parents through. You must have been a good child. Wow.
I mean, I was a good child, but I still had a smart ass mouth, and I still did what I wanted to do from time to time because I feel like I can get away with it because I was having good grades in school, and I feel like, okay, well, this is my leeway to have my little fun. I'm doing good over here. Let me have a little fun over here.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, what age did you start getting into boys, and were your parents okay with you dating, or like how did that work? How did that whole thing work?
I mean, the boys was beating down the walls when I was in high school. However, when I got into the streets and I really knew what Houston was about because for a long time I stayed in Houston, but I only knew my school and my house because my school was right across the street from my house.
Okay.
So my whole life was, filtered around just home and school.
Okay.
My sister started dating this older guy, and his sister was in the streets. She used to go to the club every weekend, really being the girl, and that wasn't something I was used to. I never wore makeup, wasn't wearing weave like that, freestyle braids and stuff like that, but wasn't really into the lifestyle.
Okay.
So my sister started dating this guy, and his sister started coming around, and my mom was cool with her coming around, and we started going out with her. And when we started going out with her, the first time I ever went out, I was like, oh my gosh, there's really this many people in this world, like, because I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
We was so, like, it was just family and school. That's it.
Yeah,
we wasn't introduced to the clubs and the lifestyle and boys and all of that. Yeah, we would see boys at school, but
kind of sheltered.
You're right, very much sheltered. I was between my mom's house and my godmother's house. Okay. So, I grew up kind of different than my siblings did. My godmother then was more, preppy. They built a studio in the back of the house for me when I was like 12, 11 years old, put me in piano lessons, put me through a lot of different things. My sister them, I grew up in the hood, 5th Ward, right down the street from where we at right now. Coke apartments, 2-bedroom. Actually 1 bedroom, and it's four of us, and my mom, she was a single parent and stuff like that. So we just had to make a way out of no way.
Yeah.
So once I had a little leeway, I found a way to get out the hood, and that's what I did.
Okay. So, you also talked about moving out. Do you think moving out is what made you kind of divert to the street life, or to what you away from the school and going to college and all that? Do you think that's what?
I think at a certain time in life when you feel like you're too grown to follow the rules and you want to do your own thing, you feel like you can take care of yourself, is when you really get introduced to the real world.
Okay. And do you think you were ready for the real world at that time?
No, definitely not.
Okay. So I want to talk about your grind and coming up, and how you started in music, how you started with the singing, because honestly, as soon as you hear your music, you can honestly tell that you've had professional training. When you said you played piano, I can instantly, like, that makes perfect sense when you listen to you sing. you can tell you know the keys and the notes and everything like that. So I wonder,
I
your
feel
grind
like my miracle bro coming
up to getting, I want to know, grinding and coming up and starting rap and all that.
So after I graduated high school at 16, got my own apartment, started going to the club, and that's when the real world started. And, you know, people was trying to talk to me, and I just wasn't, you know, I didn't even know how to handle guys. I didn't know what to say. I was very shy, you know. I think I gave a little bit more of myself than they was giving me because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do. Especially not growing up with a father and, you know, no father figure to really show you, like, what love really means. So you looking for it in everywhere else. So that's how I really got in the streets. And then I ended up getting into this relationship with this guy, and you know, we was together for a little while. Like, you know, this is my man. And the only time I really used to see him was like at the club. We'll hang out, you know, but this was my boyfriend. I'm young. I'm like 17, 16 at the time. So the things that I was thinking about then, I'm definitely on a different page now.
Yeah.
However, I found out one day we was at the club, and this girl was like, there she go right there. And I'm looking like, you know, and so his truck was right there. So I'm like, you know, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, because I felt, you know how you feel different energies.
Yeah.
You ain't dumb at all. So I walked off to my car. At this point in time, I couldn't park in VIP. My car was parked all the way across the street on the other side, across the median. You know what I'm saying? Me and my 4 friends in my 1992 Ford Taurus, light blue with the silverback trunk. So I'm walking across the street. And this girl pulls up. She's like, get this ring. And the dude pulled up behind her. It's my dude. So, yeah. So I'm just like, and he's denying me the whole time, acting like he don't know me, nothing. And that, like, really, like, hurt my heart so bad because I was so in love with him. It was my first love, and, you know, he played me. So after that, I remember this guy telling me, man, you need to come to my club and dance and this and that. And so I was like, club and dance? Nigga, I'm already dancing. Like, I'm dancing at the club every Saturday on the stage, jigging, you know? And he wasn't talking about that type of dance. He was talking about a stripper.
Yeah.
And that's when I became a stripper. I went through that, and that same night, I went to the club. And when I opened the curtains, I was like, this is where I need to be.
Okay. You think it was that? You think the stage is where you needed to be? Is that what you mean? Like this, like in front of people, the stage?
This is where
performing?
I need to be. When I walked in, blue and red lights shining everywhere, money on the stage, sexy girls, butt naked dancing, people everywhere, money everywhere. Like, this is where I need to be.
Okay. And then, so how did that lead to your music?
I've always knew how to sing. I just never had nobody to really guide me and direct me into the right place.
Okay.
So as I started dancing, I started getting different type of money, and I was able to do different type of things. I started hanging around different type of people. My friends and I one day went to the beauty supply store, and I really didn't want to go. So I ended up getting out the bed and getting in the car, and I rode with them. They went inside the store. I sat in the car. This guy, he comes and knocks on my window. He's like, hey, I got this CD. I'm selling CDs. And I'm like, ugh. Here we go, the same old song. So he finally convinced me to let down my window, which I did, and he gave me the CD, and he was like, I'll even sing for you. So he started singing for me, and I was like, oh, okay, let me buy 2 of them. So I bought 2 CDs. And so I bought the CD, I popped it in, I never took it out like for 2 weeks straight.
Okay.
I ended up calling the guy, his name is Simo. I ended up calling him, and I was like, look, I want to, you know, I'm an artist, I know how to sing. I just, you know, never had the right opportunity. Can you help me? Can you guide me? He was like, cool. End up meeting up at Starbucks. We went over some things. He took me to the studio, and maybe 2 weeks later, we ended up making my first song, which was Call Me For That Good.
Oh, okay. That was the record that blew up, right? That was the one that blew up from here that got you the whole. Wow, that was your first record.
Mm-hmm.
That did not sound like your first record.
My first major record. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh wow. That's crazy. So.
So shout out to the narrators.
Are you still friends with that guy that introduced you to music? Got you in the studio and all that.
Actually, we're still cool. I hadn't talked to him in like, almost a year, and he literally just popped up at my store yesterday.
Oh, okay.
From Miami.
Oh wow, cool.
Just
That's
popped
cool.
up. I didn't know anything about it. And I seen him on FaceTime. My sister called me. She was like, Simo's here. And I'm like, what? What are you doing here? But yeah, he popped up at my store. I wasn't here, but we spoke to each other, you know. Everything is good, so I'm glad he's doing well.
That's good. By the way, her store is at 6101
Lowndes Avenue, Houston, Texas 77020.
Heart of Fifth Ward. So let's talk about. I want to talk about the deal with Cash Money, how that came about.
So after we made the song, I was still going out to the clubs and everything. It ain't pop off yet. We just had made the song. So I actually got with the Go DJs and. Okay, well, before we recorded the song, let me rewind a little bit. Okay. I was going out to the club and stuff. I ended up meeting Birdman at the club.
Okay.
So he called me back there wherever he was, and then the next day, crazy, like he texted me. He was like, "You want to go out of town with me?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, he's like, "I'm leaving in the morning, 11 a.m." So I met him at the jewelry store, jumped on the tour bus, and I left with him. And we ended up in Kingsport, Tennessee. And that's when everything went down with the whole jail thing. People saying I was his wife and stuff. And it really wasn't me being his wife. It was just him trying to look out for me. Because at the end of the day, it was a lot of people, the situation, the way it occurred, he was just trying to look out for my well-being. So shout out to him for always looking out for just Brittany. But I told him on the bus, I was like, I'm an artist. I know how to sing, whatever. He didn't believe me at the time. So I went back to Houston. I got the song popping. And I got because it's not that he didn't really believe me. It's just like if you meet a girl, she leave with you, the next day from the club, not that night, but it was an additional day in the morning time. You don't believe that they got a talent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like, oh, okay, you just a girl. I was probably trying to talk to you but now you hit me with a whole different situation. So I probably wouldn't believe her either. But I know how to make people out of non-believers into believers. So I went back to H-Town, got the song popping. The Go DJs helped me with it. 97.9 The Box pushed it like crazy. And it was on with it popping from then. And Birdman called me. He was like, "Hey, I want to sign you." And that's just how it happened.
I love that you realized. That's crazy how you just said, like how you said that he probably was trying to talk to you because you came on the next day and you were like, "Wait, I have this talent." Because I feel like a lot of women take that personally, but it's so cool how you were like, "Nah, I get it. I get it." And then you went back and just continued the work. So, yeah, so after that, what happened with the opportunity with Cash Money? How did that blossom into a record deal and everything like that?
So, what I'm saying? My lawyer went over the country. Shout out to Carol Guest. She solidified everything. I ended up moving to Miami for a little bit. I was actually going through a bad relationship with somebody, so I was like, you know what? Let me get out of town and let me just move, like start over. I went to Miami. Baby moved me out there, got me a condo and everything, and I kind of stayed for I didn't even stay for that long because I was so homesick. I wanted to come back to Houston. I feel like I was missing out on something. Like I feel like I had to be here. So I came back, and actually he flew me to Miami, and we shot the video to Call Me For That Good. Very high budget, big mansion, everything on point from A to Z. And as time passed, I was like, the video never came out. And, I'm steady hitting him, and nobody really, responded when I was hitting him. And I'm like, what's up? And it was just like this little cold shoulder that was going on. And honestly, I feel like some people that was, in Houston, tried to throw salt on my name. You know what I mean? With Baby and stuff like that, because people don't be want to see you grow. As soon as the person see you get an opportunity, they gonna try to bring up old bullshit. And I feel like I just kept getting a cold shoulder. I feel like I was getting treated like the stepchild. So I hit him on sent him a message through somebody else. I was like, "Hey, look, I don't want to be signed to Cash Money no more." And they got an attitude, and they sent me the release form real quick, and that's what happened. And I released myself, and I've been independent ever since. And I don't regret what I did at all.
So there was no problem getting off, nothing like that. They just released papers and that's it.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
But they said that never happens in history. People just don't get released.
Did you have any problems business wise? Besides this, that you see Lil Wayne having, you see all the other Manny having and BG and all them. Did you ever have those kind of problems with Baby?
Everybody has their own independent issues when it comes to their personal business, because I don't know what their contract was. I don't know what their understanding was between him and whatever other artist. All I know is about me and the situation that him and I had. and the situation that we had, like, it played its part. It helped me get more noticed, and people know me. And I'm still telling my story 7 years later about the same thing that helped me get signed. So that's the only thing that I could pretty much say. I mean, he gave me an opportunity, whether it was short-lived or long-lived. At the end of the day, people know me by it, and they respect me, and he respect me, and I can still, hit him up, and we still chit-chat, amongst each other, and relationship is good. At the end of the day, I'm a steady grind. I'm a steady hustle. I've been that bitch. I'm going to continue to be that bitch, and I'm going to continue to grind and hustle and stack that paper.
Awesome. That's good that y'all still have a good relationship. That's awesome. So I wanted to know, like, because I've heard you sing, and then I've heard you rap. The first time I heard you was on the Beat King Crush song. I'm gonna be honest, that was the first time I heard you, and then I went back and did all the research, and then I love the new song with Zero, which I want to talk about in a sec. But I want to know, how would you define your style, your swag in the industry, in this culture?
I'm just like a Texas Southern hummingbird myself. Like, I feel like I can be the female Pimp C, or I can be the female Drake in the way that I talk, the way that I speak, the way that my music is. Like, I'm a Gemini. Like, I have like 7 sides. Like,
okay,
I'm bitchy, I'm classy, I'm fucking goofy at times. I can be litty at times. I can be trippy at times. I can be a queen at times, and I can be a bitch at times. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it just depends on what type of mood I'm in to get that side of Brittany that you want.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I hope we get the good side. I hope we get the nice side. But, so your style, but what I'm asking is, you rap, you sing. Well, you said Pimp C and Drake, and I honestly, when I heard that, that's what I kind of hear from your music is Pimp C. I hear a little bit of Pimp C with the melodies that you use, and then I hear a lot of that really professional singing. Like, you have a professional singing voice. Now, did you take professional lessons and get the vocal training and all that?
When I was younger, my godmother put me through professional lessons, and I have taken professional lessons. Yeah, I do. But a lot of times I really just practice to myself. My manager and I, we go over songs, and he helps me out, and my sister helps me out, and and these ain't any professionals. These just people know, like, when something sound good, when something sound bad. So just the people that's around me, it's really the people that helps me out. And like, the last person who I was working with, he helped me out tremendously because he knows how to sing. And like I said, he sold me his CD. So he really taught me a lot on how to record songs and, melodies and notes and harmonies and things like that. So that's how I learned.
So I also read that you had 3 records on Billboard. Mm-hmm. What were those records? I don't remember the names exactly.
Call Me For That Good, Slumber Party, and Color.
Okay. And what numbers were those at?
I'm not sure. You have to check the books.
Oh wow, that's crazy as an independent artist. And then I was reading so much about your history. I read about the whole Rihanna thing. Mm-hmm. What can you just tell us that story and what the end solution was? Was there any lawsuit, paperwork,
I made
anything like that?
a song called Bitch Better Have My Money, and Rihanna made it. Whoever wrote it for her, whoever, reenacted, I don't think she really had a part in, the song. I don't really think that she would out and try to take a song. But at the end of the day, when a person is so big, people don't really worry about the little people. They think you just trying to bitch to try to get on, to try to say, oh, you just want to be. No, it don't be none of that. But if you're not an artist, then you don't understand what artists go through being independent and really trying to get where you want to go. You don't understand that. You think like, oh, you just nagging, you just magging. No, mad. Just like the same energy and, hustle that the people that you look up to put in, bitch, I'm putting in the same work.
But you're putting up your own money.
And I'm putting up my own money, and I'm doing it my own self. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not going to knock nobody hustle, but just don't take from me. Yeah. But I mean, I ain't the type of person that's going, oh, let me do a lawsuit, let me do that. Yeah, people tried to come to me and say, oh, Brittany, you could do a lawsuit, you should sue her, you should do this, you should do that, you should try to get some money. But that wasn't my calling and my way into the industry to try to sue her over a song. Yeah. No, when it's gonna be my time, it's gonna be my time, and it's gonna come in a good light and not something like over somebody stealing my song. Yeah, niggas getting checks off of people stealing their songs, like the whole Marvin Gaye, that type of stuff and all of that. Yeah, that's business. But at the end of the day, I'm not doing that.
I like that. I like that. Do you do ghostwriting for a lot of artists?
No. I write for my own self. I don't got time to write for nobody else.
Oh wow, you look like you don't like to do you don't want to do that at all.
At all.
Okay, so let's talk. I want to talk about Mama Should Have Told Me. I really like that record. I told you off camera that we were listening to that in the car.
Yeah.
I want to know that song feels like there's a real story behind that record. When you said something like, "Never call a stripper your best friend." Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. And then you told a little story. Is there a true story behind that song, and would you mind sharing that with us?
Everything I sing about is true.
Okay.
It's nothing that's fabricated.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, how do I... Was there some actual event that took place and you wrote that song right after? And that's what I'm trying to ask. Like, was there something that happened?
I mean, it is an event that took place, but I didn't write it right after. It's just that it keeps coming up in my mind, and I feel like it's a message that I need to get out to girls, because a lot of times we befriend people because it feel good at the moment, or we're vulnerable, or we feel like we're feeling lonely, so we need somebody, and we don't really look at the person for who they are. We looking at it as a feeling, and you overlook some of the things that people do because you're like, oh no, and you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and you're making excuses up for them when really what they're doing is wrong. Okay. And it continues to happen, and a lot of times things continue to happen, and there's no way that you can stop it. So now, instead of you stopping it in the beginning, it's fucked up in the end, because now that person then turned their back on you, and you looking like, damn, I ain't even did shit to you. Yeah. Like, you the one did something to me, but it's cool though. Mama should have told me. Yeah. Like, don't trust a stripper, don't trust dancers, don't even trust bitches like that, because at the end of the day, women know women just like men know men, and it's just a figure of speech. Niggas know niggas. Like, you know that people are sneaky. So if they see you have something and they want it, they're gonna try to find any type of way to make it okay for them doing it and try to brush it off like it's nothing. Like, when you see road signs, it's just like if you on the freeway and you traveling and it say, oh, in a mile, this is coming up, and they give you all these signs, and you never pay attention to them. You on your phone, you texting, you ain't worried about what the street signs tell you, and then boom, you almost end up in the ditch. And this happened to me for real. Like, for real. So I'm just saying, when you see warning signs and people in different behaviors that you feel that you have to question in your mind, believe it. Yeah, for sure. About you said in the record, mistakes turn into lessons. I love that line, because I'm a real big believer in that all your mistakes should teach you something. So I wanted to know what would be the couple most important lessons you learned going through that time, where you wrote this song about. Just not to trust people. Just not to trust people in general. Trust not to put so much into people. Okay. Don't share your weaknesses with nobody. Okay. Don't invest too much time, energy, patience into people, because at the end of the day, if a person is not putting in the same energy or even more to keep you, then it's like you working by yourself. Mm-hmm. It's like you on the phone talking to a person the whole time, you steady saying something, and they don't barely say nothing. Oh yeah, okay. Like, you not even putting in energy. I'm wasting all my breath. We've been on the phone for 20 minutes and you barely said 2 words. Like, come on now, nigga. Now you wasting my time. Bye. Click. It's over with. That's how I gotta be. If people don't realize, with independent, you're putting up all your own money, and that's what I was talking about with the stealing of the records. Like, you're putting up your own bread. It's those labels are fronting that money that they. So now you put out that record, and there's this, and now someone steals it. You've lost all that money that you put into that, and I know that's not what you do it for. You do it for the passion of the record, but it's still, at the end of the day, business and money, and it is business, because if you was to do the same thing to them, then now everybody coming at you like, oh, you did this, you copying off of this, oh, you trying to be like this person. But when you so big and you so high, you don't really see too far down from the sky. Like, it's just like if you on a plane, we got land down there, but can you see it under the clouds? No, because you're on top of the clouds. And a lot of times that's how it be with people. Like, you don't see that, you don't hear that small chatter, you don't see all of that, so it don't even faze you. So after the Cash Money deal was over, tell us about your grind after that, and everything that took place after that. And then I also heard, I don't know, we can take it out of the interview if you don't want it, but I heard you signed a deal with Snoop Dogg. Is that true? Or you're working with Snoop Dogg or something like that? I'm working with Snoop Dogg. Him and I have a new song called Doggy Style. He started a new label called Doggy Style South, and he wanted me to be one of the artists on the label. So we are working out some particulars. I performed with him in his show in Austin. I opened up. DJ Drama was DJing, and Wiz was there, and he told me, he was like, "Man, I love your performance. You have a crazy performance and look." And he was behind the stage and said, "I was like, wow, that's what's up." And then I went in there with Snoop, and Snoop is cool as shit. Like, that's Uncle Snoop for real, for real. How y'all see him is how he really is. So that's good. But shout out to my manager Wayne. Like, he has a relationship with Snoop and been working with him for a long time. So when you keep it loyal with people, they try to do the best that they can for you.
Yeah, Wayne was one of the easiest managers to work with. I'll say that. He was definitely returned calls, picked up calls, and we got this. You were busy, so it took some time, but I like that he picked up calls. He was very professional. He handled. Wayne. Thank you, Wayne, for hooking this up. Appreciate it, man. So that's how you met Snoop Dogg, was at the show, and he saw you perform. So it was all real natural, kind of. That's cool. It was real organic.
I performed on his show, on his tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, that's okay. Now, obviously, Snoop Dogg is a legend, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but you haven't seen him put out any other big artists. Like, you have the guys like, people that have put out Future or T.I., putting out Iggy and Travis Scott, and you have Kanye putting out these guys. So I'm just wondering, what interested you in working with that deal? Why that deal? Why that label? Why there?
Well, I'm not signed to Snoop Dogg at all.
Okay.
It's not a deal. It's not a label. It's something that we're working on.
Okay.
And it's just a lot of different opportunities. I mean, like you said, Snoop is a legend, and to be able to be in his presence and for him to even think about me enough to even want me to perform on his show, in front of his fans and gain some of his fans and some of his momentum, like, that's enough within itself. So I appreciate that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that'll be a dope collab. I really do. So I want to talk about the store. Here. Why the store? Why here? Why did you decide fashion? I mean, what is this what you love? You love to design. You love and are any of these pieces that you've designed?
First off, fashion is my passion. I feel like I'm a low-key fashion icon in my own little world, and so many people pay me to wear their stuff, send me clothes, want me to shout them out, want me to promote them, want me to do everything with them. So it's like, why not start my own store? And why not put it in the hood where I grew up at? Why not put it back in the community that I grew up in? My granny stays right down the street. My father stays right down the street. This is where I grew up at. These are my stomping grounds.
Yeah.
And I do have some a Just Brittany collection. I actually have a collection of clothes that I've worn on different performances, to different award shows, in different videos, and customers have a chance to come and purchase one of my memorabilia outfits. I actually have 2014, 15, and 16 Go DJ Award dresses that I wore in Houston for the Go DJ Award. So yeah, it's a lot of different stuff. I also have my own workout line. It's called Just Be Fit workout gear. And I'm all about health and wealth. It's all about keeping the body in shape. It's all about being healthy. So I came up with some cute little workout outfits for the ladies. I also have a plus size section for my plus size girls, and we've actually sold out plus size even faster than everything else, which is amazing. And it's the summertime. I have some cover ups, I have bathing suits, I have one pieces.
Joe, can we get some footage of this? Can we just get
let's walk around.
Let's get
We can do that after.
Oh,
okay, we'll do it afterwards. That's
cool. But I have everything. I have chokers, I have jewelry, accessory, magic bras, all type of stuff. So yeah.
You talked about health, and you talked about that you're into that being healthy. I want to talk about that because that's something that we talk about on the show, and that's affected me. I've had 2 kidney transplants. I'm going for a 3rd eventually, and I was basically given a drug that I was not supposed to be given, and it put me in this wheelchair for life. Never a chance of walking again. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever dealt with any personal health issues?
Have I dealt with any personal health issues? I mean, I think
something,
No, I think everybody go through different things, in life. And I think that long as we work out and try to live a healthy lifestyle as much as possible, then we on the right path. I mean, even in these foods that we eating, even in, the drinks that we're drinking just on a daily basis, it's so many toxins in the foods that we eat. It's so many toxins in everything. Something can be going on with somebody and they might not never even know about it. And you could be living with it for a long time. You just never know. So I just try to keep a healthy lifestyle. I try to eat healthy. I try to work out as much as possible as I can. Like today, I ate a kale salad with some grilled chicken, and I ate half of it and I ate half of it later, and then I end up eating some collard greens, by themselves, just trying to eat healthy. Like
healthier than I am. Shit. I'm drinking soda and I'm the one on dialysis and I'm drinking soda. I drink soda. I know it's bad. I just
don't like soda. Like only if I'm drinking Crown Apple and Coke, which I'm drinking now.
Oh, so to say, only when I'm pulled up.
No. Oh, you pulled up?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't do that. I don't sip. I don't
Me
sip.
Neither. Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
What's the drug
That I used to take?
No, that put you in a position.
Oh, it's a MRI contrast, so they give it to make your bones glow.
No, I'm talking about what's the drug that you took
to make me in the switcher. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the MRI. It's like you go for an MRI, so they give you this contrast to make your bones glow, and it's called gadolinium. But they didn't tell on purpose. It's been proven that they didn't tell on purpose that do not give it to people without kidneys because it's a heavy metal and it comes out through your kidneys. And if you don't have kidneys, how is it going to come out? It's not going to come out till you get a transplant. It took me 2.5 years to get a transplant after that. So I can't open. This finger's stuck. This finger's stuck. This finger's stuck. Arms don't open up. That's it. Knees don't bend at all. That's it. That's extra bone just grew everywhere throughout my body. I got an interview coming on Zach TV. We talk about all of it and let everybody know what's going on. But yeah, that's basically my story.
And you think and people be thinking they life hard, and it's always somebody going through something worse than you.
It's life. I realize that it's life, and I was mad for a long time, but I got over it.
But look at you now. You got your own your show. Like you don't let it stop you. You motivated. You here. You got your people who support you. They down with you. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? And you motivating people that even similar to you or has went through something like you're motivating them to get up and not feel mad about yourself. Don't be unhappy. Like get happy, get out there and do what you love to do, fulfill your passion. So I congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
That's real.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's talk about the future for Just Brittany. Let's talk about the goals you have set and what you want to accomplish in say the next 10 years in this business.
Whew. Next 10 years. I just want to be set, man. I want to drop a couple albums, be happy with somebody who I love. Hopefully, my ex-boyfriend is out of jail. He's been in jail for about 10 years. So hopefully he's out of jail and we can live happy. And, I'm set in my zone. Like, I'm not worried about too much. I've won a lot of awards. I've traveled the world. I've done shows. I'm older now. I can just live peaceful in the next 10 years. Like, I feel like I've already been in it almost 10 years, which I haven't, but I've been doing it all my life. So I just want to be okay. Like, that's why I'm setting myself up now with the store and, just different businesses so people can really know Just Brittany, the brand, the orange hair. That's why my walls are orange, black and white. I love black and white. Like, that's my brand. That's me. So.
What's the orange represent?
Orange represents happiness.
Okay.
Orange represents let go. It represents being free.
Okay. You also talked about. I want to talk about one more thing. I forgot to ask you. Who were your influences in rap and in music and in singing, in Houston and outside of Houston?
Well, my influences, number one is my mom. She used to be a singer. She used to sing in a choir with Yolanda Adams when we was younger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And also another influence is my godmother, because if it wasn't be for her and all the energy that she put in when I was younger, when she seen the talent, if it wasn't her developing it while I was younger, then I wouldn't be where I am today. And another influence is Beyonce. Like, she's a Houston native. She's from Houston. We go to the same church, and I just love everything that she has been about. Like from day one, from being in a group, for her being independent, from being single to really getting inside, her relationship. Now she got another 2 more babies on the way, and she's just done everything that every woman in the world wish and dreams of.
Yeah.
So she's definitely like one of the biggest influence that a woman can ever, like, she's the epitome of the hardest working ass woman in the world to me. As far as voices, also Whitney Houston. I love Whitney Houston. My new project is called Brittany Houston, kind of named after Whitney Houston. Her voice, she's just a legend, everything that she's ever done. Back in the day, Rochelle Farrell, Tierra Marie.
Tierra Marie? I never heard anybody say Tierra Marie.
Yeah, Tierra Marie. Stephanie Mills, Patti LaBelle. I'm very soulful. Escape, SWV, TLC, Destiny Child. Like, that's what I grew up off of.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, well, we're here live from her store, 61. Actually, you go ahead and say the address. Go ahead. Tell them about your store.
We are here at the Queen's house where we bring out your inner queen. So come visit us at 6101 Lowndes Avenue. Okay?
Yep, and we in 5th Ward, Texas, Houston, Texas. And by the way, I just want to let y'all know Beyonce is from Houston, Texas, and she's the biggest star in the game right now, and she's from Houston. So.
And I'm coming up next, and I'm going to be the second biggest star from Houston, Texas.
Yeah. And check us out at www.all4theculture.com. Check me out at All for the Culture Show. And then my individual Instagram is at ElvisFreshly713. And yours is?
My Instagram is Queen Just Brittany, QueenJustBrittany. Also on Facebook.com/Queen Just Brittany. Twitter and Snapchat is Queen Just Brit with 2 T's. And you can find all of that at www.queenjustbrittany.com. And you are watching All for the Culture.
Come to her store.
Hate her, but I fuck her like a lover. I was fighting, but we kiss under the cover. And baby, I don't never play around with you. Soon as we get together, you know what's going down. She say she love when I'm up in it. Them other niggas ain't with it. She like, what's your favorite position? I'm like, baby, every position. And I love when you wash the dishes. Not because you washing the dishes. It's because of little shorts you be wearing when you walking around in the kitchen, yeah.